welcome back to my channel. This morning we are doing a breakfast cook with me. Hence the reason I'm still in my pajamas and pretty much rolled right out of bed. I did put a little bit of makeup on so I wouldn't scare you too much. But we are making a sausage gravy and biscuit casserole. Excuse me. I have never made this before. I saw a couple different recipes online. Didn't really like any of them. Way too high in points, so I kind of took the best of all the recipes and came up with this. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll show you how we're going to do it. We are going to make our own turkey sausage because it saves in points. Now, you don't have to do that. You can buy a roll of turkey sausage, excuse me, and use that and just calculate the points in. But we're going to make our own. So this is 8 ounces of 99% fat-free ground turkey. And to that, I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of dried sage, a teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. You can use black, I just use white. 1/8 of a teaspoon of crushed red pepper and a pinch of marjoram. That's going to go into the turkey sausage. We also have a tablespoon of light butter, 1 cup of 1% milk, 1/4 cup of flour, and half of a tube, so 5 of the buttermilk biscuits. These are the small ones. These are not the big fluffy Pillsbury Grands or anything like that. These are the small, I use the Great Value buttermilk biscuits. They also come, Pillsbury has them also. So the first thing we're going to do is get our sausage going. I'm just going to put the seasonings in there and really get in there and work it. And then we're going to cook the sausage just like you would. If you bought it from a roll. So let's go get that cooked. So I just crumbled up the turkey into the pan. I did add about a half a teaspoon or so of oil because I didn't want it to stick, because it is, you know, pretty lean. And just cooked it until it was done. And then I'm going to remove it from the pan into a bowl. And we're going to get started on the gravy part. You can leave the sausage in the pan and do the gravy around it, but I think I get a smoother gravy without having to worry about whisking around all the turkey lumps. Okay, so we're going to melt the light butter, tablespoon of light butter, in the same pan that we cooked the sausage. And then I misspoke earlier. It's not a 1/4 cup of flour, it's 1/8 of a cup of flour, so like 2 tablespoons. We're just going to whisk that around. Let it cook for 30 seconds to a minute. Don't let it burn, just let it get a little bit brown. And then we're going to start adding in our milk. And I add it in very slowly, a little at a time, and whisk the heck out of it to avoid the lumps. You just have to be patient when doing this. Then you can just keep whisking and adding more milk in and whisking and adding more milk in until it's nice and thick and bubbly and all the lumps are gone. There we have our nice, smooth, thick gravy. And I am just going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm too lazy to pull the white salt out, so we're using, or white pepper out, so we're using black. And we're going to add back in our sausage. And just mix it up. You can get it nice and combined and coat it. We're going to remove it from the heat and just let it cool for a little bit. And we're going to go prepare the casserole pan. Okay, so I took 5 biscuits and I cut each biscuit into 8 pieces. And now what I'm going to do is take half of those, so 20 pieces, and just scatter in the bottom of an 8 by 8 inch baking pan that I sprayed with nonstick spray. And then what we're going to do with the other half, once the sausage gravy mixture cools down a little bit, we are going to fold the other half of these into the sausage gravy mixture and then pour it on top. Okay, I put the meat mixture in a bowl just so it would cool down to get it out of that hot pan. And now I'm just going to toss in the biscuits, just a few at a time. I don't want them to get all clumpy. We're just going to gently fold them in. And then we are going to put the mixture in the casserole dish. Like I said, this is the first time I'm making this, so we'll see. But if you're seeing this video, it must have turned out good. Okay. Now we are going to put it in the oven. Yeah, see, they're melting. I didn't. We're going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees. I'm going to start checking it at 20 minutes. I think it's probably going to need about 25. But we'll start checking it then. Here it is out of the oven. I do think the oven times and the temperature need to be adjusted. I would change it to 375, cover it for the first 20 minutes, uncover it for 10 minutes. That's what I would change it to. Let me show you what it looks like when it's plated. Here is the serving when it is plated up. I will be back to let you know what we think of it. Okay, so my critique of the sausage gravy and biscuit casserole, sausage gravy and biscuit bubble up, whatever we want to call it, it was good. I overcooked mine a little bit because I forgot to reset the timer when I put it back in the oven, but that was just my fault. It wasn't any fault of the recipe. And it was a little bit salty. So I would pull back on the salt for us. Now, I personally think that sausage gravy and biscuits should be a little on the salty side. This was just a little too much. What else? But it was really good. My only complaint is the serving wasn't big enough. So I may take a point hit and up the serving size, or I may sort of have this as a side dish and serve it with some scrambled eggs. I think that would be absolutely delicious, just to kind of build up my food. I'm a big breakfast person, and I think it's because I work out so early in the morning before breakfast and burn a lot of calories. So by the time breakfast comes around, I'm really hungry. So I really like a big, satisfying breakfast. So that could be it, but I thought it was delicious. Doug gave it a big thumbs up and Adam gave it a big thumbs up. So I definitely will be making this again. And actually, I think Doug wants me to make it for his monthly breakfast at work. So I will definitely do that for him. So yeah, it was definitely a win. Like I said, I just would need something on the side because the serving was a little small for me. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below if this is something you think you would try or if you love sausage gravy and biscuits. I also have a recipe on my website for just regular sausage gravy and biscuits. I make my biscuits out of the 2-ingredient dough for myself and then the sausage gravy over top. Now, I used to just use the roll of sausage until I started making my own. So I can definitely reduce the points on that by making my own. So anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. If so, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can give it a thumbs down. It's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and the way I cook is not everybody's cup of tea. And that's okay, because we're all different. So leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. You guys know the drill. And have a wonderful and happy Saturday morning and all day and weekend and everything else. And I will see you soon. As I was editing this video, I realized I completely forgot to tell you the points. The points are for the blue plan and the purple plan. The casserole serves 4, and it is 4 points per serving. On the green plan, it is 5 points per serving. Sorry about that, guys.